Cool. So I guess first one for chapter 6, we're gonna do the strategic actions for Anheuser-Busch. And so I guess the first one we're gonna do is the horizontal diversification. So do y'all have anything? I feel like for me, I know like the horizontal diversification is like, say they were to enter like a market that's not really theirs, which obviously I don't know. They're like a beer manufacturer, so like I don't really necessarily know if they make completely different, but I do know like they'll take ideas and like do the caffeine beer. I don't know if that would be related to the horizontal diversification. I'm not really sure because I don't know if they make products. Like I feel like all they make is beer, so I don't really know if they use horizontal diversification, to be honest with you, but
Doesn't Bud Light have seltzers?
they do have seltzers, yes. So that
Yeah.
I was wondering if it was like completely like away from alcoholic beverages or if we could just say they're going away from the actual beer thing. So like if that's the case, then they do the caffeine beer, they do seltzers, they do all that type of stuff.
Wait, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I'm sure they make like apparel or something,
Yeah, I'm
like
sure they
just
yeah.
their brand.
Koozies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a Busch Light shirt. Actually.
I was gonna say, because like I was reading over the definition again, and wouldn't that also entail like, because you know like Anheuser-Busch, like they're like the big one, right? Like they're a big company and they have like they kind of buy out their other competitors. Would that also be it? Because like you have like their products and then they're buying out their competitor and they're bringing in their products and mixing it in with their company.
Yeah.
Or would that be more supply? Would that be more, what is that considered, vertical?
Yeah. Because
Yep.
taking over a supplier.
What about those horses? What's that?
What horses?
You know how they have like the horses that are specifically for the it's like one big beer company, I don't even know, like the big horses. And they have like a
It's
bunch of equestrian
it's a red one.
something like that.
The logo's like red.
Yeah. But they're in the horse market. I don't know.
I didn't really understand that in the movie. I thought
It's like a part of their brand. They'll
Yeah.
like bring the horses out when there's some event or something.
yeah, I like their
Like a-
mascot, I guess, kind of.
Yeah. It's like a big deal, I think. Supposedly. I think we can move on to vertical diversification.
Okay.
Probably what you said, Emily.
Yeah.
Well, so it's basically like when a company is like making their own thing. So when you move up and down the supply chain, take control of more stages of production or distribution. I guess that would be because they're taking control. I guess of another company.
Yeah.
Or I guess horizontal alliance. Wouldn't that be like a partnership with, which I feel like they don't really partner with their competitors, do they?
Is that does a merger count? An
Well,
acquisition?
that's what I'm wondering because like I feel like a horizontal alliance that's like distinct in being like a partnership,
Mm.
but like working together, which I feel like they do not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think they use horizontal alliance, to be honest with you. I don't know if we can answer. I don't know if that's an option, but
I don't know enough about beer.
maybe you could say they horizontal alliance would be they don't necessarily like work together and creating the same like products or like collaborating, but I feel like it could be more like horizontal alliance would be like the big three, Anheuser-Busch and like Coors and whatever the other one is, Miller. I feel like they team up against the small breweries and like basically buy those people out. I feel like that could be a partnership.
I can see that.
But they did say Miller and Coors Didn't they merge together or something at the end? But
I
that's
have no
not
idea.
Anheuser-Busch, so.
I have no idea if they merged. I have no idea. But yeah, I'd say that could be like a horizontal alliance. I don't know if it's necessarily planned, but I feel like those three just want to maintain the market share.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think we can move on to vertical alliance.
I guess that's like a partnership with the supplier.
Because don't they own like the big companies? Don't they own their own like distribution trucks and whatnot? And then people have to like haggle to get on and
Yeah.
get space.
Yeah.
And even like the grocery stores, they
Mhm.
kind of control them, how they put it out.
True.
So
Yeah, I agree. Guess y'all want to hit small brewery,
mhm.
Okay.
I guess for horizontal diversification, I feel like it's kind of like the same thing. I don't know if it'd necessarily be the same thing, but
Well, I mean, it can because I did do research on Dogfish Head. Because like you said earlier, like it's about bringing in products that aren't necessarily beer itself. So like, like the non-alcoholic drinks or seltzers or something, I think that they did do that.
yeah, I feel like it'd be the same. I was wondering if you could say like different flavors, but also that's kind of like still beer. I was wondering.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For vertical diversification, what do y'all think?
Mm, haven't really.
What did we say for Anheuser again for vertical?
We were talking about like if a acquisition or like a merger counts, right?
Yeah. So like Dogfish Head hasn't really done that, I feel like.
Well, I feel like they manufacture their own beer, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, they
they're brewing
definitely-
it at their own house,
Yeah.
right?
Does that count?
Yeah. I was just saying like they haven't taken over like, you know.
Yeah, but would expansion still count though?
Um, I guess. I just thought vertical diversification is if they're like basically making their own stuff.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're expanding their own
Yeah.
distilleries, I think they're called.
Oh yeah, they did get more during the movie. They're trying.
Are we on horizontal alliance now?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yes.
Okay.
That could be the collaboration with other breweries.
Did Dogfish Head do that?
I'm assuming they did. I can't 100% remember. I feel like they did.
I know he said he was friends with, I think, the girl with the caffeinated beer, Moon.
I don't think they necessarily like work together,
Yeah, but I don't
feel
know if
like
they work
the
together.
small ones, kind of like the big ones, are trying to team up and take over the market. I feel like the small ones are like they all support each other because it's like actually high quality beer, whatever. They all use the same ingredients and they all have basically the same business model, business strategy, and they're competing to get in the stores together over the big three. So I feel like they do work together to basically try and dominate and come up with like new things and be the first ones to figure it out and like basically kind of rule their local community.
That's a good answer.
For vertical alliance, you don't want to do that one.
Wasn't
like,
the issue that he didn't have any vertical alliances?
yeah, I'm not quite sure, but I feel like the local breweries don't really have supply chain like alliances, to be honest with you. I feel like I feel like the bigger ones could probably have more like power in controlling like how much goods are and whatnot. I feel like the small ones don't really have any power over that. But I'm not really sure. What do y'all think?
Yeah. I agree.
Okay.
Because I think they said like Anheuser-Busch, like they kind of have a say-so with the laws.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not, I feel like they're not going to listen to Dogfish Head or like smaller breweries.
All right. So if we're the top management team for Dogfish, what competitive actions can you take to fortify your market position against your competitors?
Okay. Well, I mean, we did talk about expanding the network, like expanding the distillery, so like a distribution network, I guess.
Yeah.
And then we said also the collaborating. I feel like if they collaborated with other, I don't know, breweries or brands or something like that, they could,
Yeah. I feel like the main thing would be like they need to take actions in like first like building their brand image.
mhm.
Basically like globalizing or at least attempting to. And then also like while they do that, I believe they continue to like use high quality ingredients and basically preach what the small distill or small breweries like are known for. Yeah, definitely keep the same ingredients, and then I'd also like continue being like the first people to come up with like, for example, the caffeine, even though like the top
Mhm.
dogs will end up probably buying you out, but like keep like creating new things to basically just like wow consumers to like basically come to your place.
Wouldn't that also work for the second question? Like in terms of
Yeah, I guess
diversification?
diversification, I guess I'd definitely say like it'd be coming up with new things and basically
Yeah.
having new flavors because like Anheuser-Busch is not coming out with like 20 different flavors. All it is just plain light beer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like if they were to just make light beer, they
Mm-mm.
wouldn't be a brewery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because obviously like the other people would overrule them. So definitely I feel like to diversify themselves is keep creating like new different beers and different flavors and try and keep up with like consumer preferences. Like I think we said one time in like past talks, like keep up with seasons, like in the summer, what is it, like a twisted tea?
Twisted tea on a
Yeah,
beach.
like just random stuff like that. Like just keep up with I guess like consumer preferences and like seasons and what are people craving at this time of year and whatnot.
I feel like they should try and like trademark or whatever it is, like the
Mhm.
pumpkin thing. If they would have had that, like nobody else can use it, like
Mhm.
pumpkin spelled
Yeah.
that way, then they wouldn't have had it taken. Or
That and I also feel like the local ones to separate themselves because like a lot of people like locally owned things. So like if they were to like do things in the community like tastings and stuff like that, just basically build relationships with like people instead of just selling beer.
yeah.
'Cause nobody's building a relationship with Anheuser-Busch. I feel I feel like that could also be like a competitive action over like the top dogs would be
Mhm.
like I would be more compelled to go to somewhere where like they know me and they're like actually caring about if I like it or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be another way to both diversify and have like competitive actions against their competitors. But yeah, should be
Partner
it. Yeah,
partnerships with chains. I don't know.
yeah.
Okay.